Factfulness is a book that teaches the importance of understanding the world based on facts rather than assumptions. Many people tend to view the world pessimistically, believing that problems are continuously increasing. In reality, improvements in health, education, and poverty levels show that the world is getting better in many ways. Author Hans Rosling identifies 10 instinctive biases that can distort our perception and explains how being aware of them helps us understand the world more accurately. The gap instinct. We often divide the world into a developed and a developing countries, but most countries have a large middle class, making such simple divisions misleading. Example, India is often labeled as a developing country, yet many urban areas have thriving IT industries and middle-class living standards comparable to global levels. The negativity instinct. We tend to focus on bad news and assume the world is getting worse, even though many indicators show improvement. Example, news coverage of conflicts and disasters is frequent, but global child mortality has been cut in half over the past 50 years. The straight line instinct. We assume trends continue in a straight line, but changes are often non-linear and can accelerate or slow down unexpectedly. Example, world population seems to be growing rapidly, but birth rates are declining in many countries, slowing population growth over time. The fear instinct. We overreact to danger or frightening events, perceiving them as more common than they are. Example, airplane crashes seem terrifying in the news, but car accidents are far more frequent and deadly. The size instinct. We tend to misinterpret numbers or focus on isolated figures, exaggerating their significance relative to the whole. Example, hearing that 10,000 people die from a disease annually may seem alarming, but compared to the global population, it is a very small proportion. The generalization instinct. We generalize from limited examples and fall into stereotypes. Example, observing poverty or conflict in some African countries might lead to the false belief that all of Africa is dangerous, ignoring the diversity among nations. The single perspective instinct. We oversimplify complex problems by attributing them to a single cause. Example, poverty is often blamed solely on individual effort, but it is influenced by education, healthcare, infrastructure, and political conditions. The destiny instinct. We assume that cultural habits and social conditions are fixed and cannot change. Example, in countries where women historically had limited access to education, female literacy and school enrollment rates have risen dramatically over decades. The urgency instinct. We feel pressured to take immediate action, sometimes making hasty decisions without fully understanding the situation. Example, feeling compelled to donate to a country with high child mortality is understandable, but assessing the most effective way to help ensures better results. The overreaction instinct. We react strongly to extreme or alarming events, skewing our perception of reality. Example, isolated cases of terrorism or natural disasters can make us believe such events are much more common than they really are. By recognizing these biases and relying on data, we can see the world more accurately, make better decisions, and avoid unnecessary fear or prejudice. Factfulness is a guide to understanding the world as it truly is and developing a calm, fact-based perspective.